Hey there, Zoom kids. It's Monique from Misfit Crafter Studio, and today we are going to make a paper cactus and succulent. Super cute. It comes in its own little pot and everything, so we make all of this in one little project. All right, so here's what you'll have in your kit. So you'll have a lot of pieces. So you're going to have a little yellow piece that looks just like this. Sometimes the yellow may look a little different, so it looks like a little cactus. You're going to have these two little pieces that look like arms from your cactus. You're going to have two small ones and two big ones. Just like that. Okay. Then you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of this long parts of the cactus, and then 2 other little yellow pieces of the cactus. Okay, so that's going to be all our cactus parts right there. Then you'll also have the pieces for our little pot. You're going to have this little shape here. You're going to have one that looks sort of like a sun, and then a little circle. And then you're going to have a little pack full of petals for this other succulent. Okay, so you're going to have all these little pieces. The little pack with the succulent, we're going to go ahead and put that one to the side for now. And we're going to go ahead and put our little cactus pieces just to the side. Now for our extras, we're going to need some glue. Paper, fast drying is always best, so tacky glue is always good. And if you want to, you can either have a marker or some stamp pads. Stamp pads work best. You can also have a little cotton ball or something like that to help put on the ink. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that a little bit later. So we're going to put those aside for now. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get the parts from our pot. If you look on here, there's a little line that goes through the top. What you're going to want to do is you're going to find the part of your paper that kind of has more of a texture, and you're going to bend down where that line is on the top part of your paper. You don't have to bend it down a whole lot, but you do just want to bend it down. Just like that. And you'll notice as you bend it, your paper starts to curve just a little bit in, so that when we close this up, it'll look like a little rim of your pot. All right, so the other part you have, you'll see this little tab here and the little hole here. What I want you to do is go through here. You're going to add just a little bit of glue on the end of your tab here. Don't forget to close up your glue. You're going to get that tab and you're going to curl this up. You're going to put that little tab through that little slit so that it ends up inside the pot, just like that. And then you're going to press so that you can get that glue to stay down. You can just give a little press to make this a little more round, but you're going to hold that just for a few seconds, about, let's say, 10 to 20 seconds, usually good. 20 seconds is better. And you just want to make sure that you clean up any glue on the outside that you might have while you're holding that down. So we're just holding that. And while we're holding that with our fingers, you see this little flap here? You're going to get that and just tuck it under that other flap so you don't see it anymore. And you just squeeze that a little. And you can see on the inside right here is where that little flap is that you put through the hole, is right here. If you can see that right there. So if you don't want to put the glue on first, you can also pull this back and try to put glue in there, but it makes it a little more difficult. But again, just push that down. A few seconds and you're all good. So we're just going to put that aside for now. Then you're going to get your little sun shape. What you're going to do is the little rough part, you're going to have it facing down. You're going to push up all these little rays. And this is going to become the bottom of our pot. So you just keep pushing that up all the way around. until they're all kind of pointing up at you. See that? So they're all kind of pointing up now. Now what you want to do is you're going to get your glue again, and you're going to put a little dab of glue on every single one of those little parts. Just like that. Just on the outside all the way around. Just keep turning it and adding glue. You see all of them have the glue all on the outside. Okay? Once you have that, from the top, you can grab this and just kind of drop that in there. And don't worry if you get glue on the sides of your pot. You're going to hold your pot down like this and push down that piece to the bottom. And then on the sides of the wall of your pot, you're going to press all those little rays to the side. So all those little tabs, you're just going to squish it to the side of your pot, just like that. Okay? So that'll make the bottom part of your pot covered a little. Now, if you don't see it hitting all the way to the bottom, you can push it from underneath until it gets pretty even with the side. With the bottom like that. So see, it's really even that way. And just make sure on the inside of the pot, you're pushing all these to the side. All these little tabs. And then that will dry there. While that's drying, you can get another thing of glue and just put it along the bottom just like that. You want to cover it pretty good. Make sure you close your glue again. And then with the rough part, the part's kind of scratchy and not smooth, so the smooth side's going to go down right onto there. And that'll close up the bottom of your pot. And you just want to push it, so you're going to go inside and just give it a little push on the inside with your finger. Or you can get a pencil or something and just push while you're pushing on the bottom at the same time. Okay. Once that's all together, we're just going to leave that and we're going to let that dry just right there. So next what we're going to do is get our little cactus parts. So you'll notice that there's a bunch of little holes in the cactus. Now some of the little holes might not have been popped out. So if you want, you can go through and just pull out little pieces of paper that may not have fallen off yet. And I just do that by giving it a little scratch back and forth. Or if you have it, you can get a little pencil and poke it through. I even sometimes just get a little pipe cleaner and just push on it a little. And it pops out all those things from the holes. And there's a lot of them, I know. Like I said, you don't have to take them out if you don't want to. And it's not absolutely necessary. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 4 long pieces. Put those aside. We're going to take the 4 long pieces and we're just going to fold them. If you look right here, there's a line going down the middle. Pop that one out. We're going to fold all of them towards the part that's really rough. We're going to fold all those in half like that. All right, we're just going to continue to fold all 4 of those. Okay, what I do sometimes is like just flick it like that so that little pieces will come out. So once you have all 4 of those folded, you're going to put those aside. You're going to grab these yellow pieces. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your little cactus, and you see how the shape is? You're going to put glue on one side of the cactus. Okay? And only on one side. So you're going to run the glue all through that one side. You're going to get the yellow part and match up the shape and glue that right there. Okay? So do you see when I open it, you can kind of see the yellow on the right side right here. You're going to keep that, fold it down like that, so your curve is going to one side. Now, once that's glued, you're going to add more glue to this side where the yellow is. And make sure you pay close attention to what side you're putting it on. So on the back, when it's flipped over, it'll be on the left side. You're going to get another piece of cactus and you're going to glue it right on top like that. So that when you squish everything down, all the shapes match. Okay. So you're just going to squish all that down. What you'll see happens is that when you open these two sides up, you have a little shape that pops up like that. And you can see the yellow through these parts. So we're going to go ahead and let that dry, and we're going to do the same thing with the other sets of paper. So again, you're going to squish it down. You're going to add glue. Match the shape with the yellow. So make sure it matches the shape, because if you try putting it that way, you see how the shape just doesn't match up? It means it's going the wrong way. So we're going to match that shape all together. And you can go like this to make it nice and even with all the different sides. But you want to match the shape. Once the yellow is glued on, you're going to add some glue again. Close up your glue. You're going to grab the other one and match the shape. And again, you'll know it's the wrong side if the shape doesn't match. So see how that one's curving that one and that one's curving that way? You know you're putting it on correctly if all of the shape matches. So you're going to squish that all together. Squish it from the top and the sides and the bottom, and then squish that all together. And again, you're going to get a little piece that sticks out just like that. And you'll be able to see the yellow through this middle part, right? So now you have two of those. So next what you're going to do is get this yellow cactus part. And you're going to add glue all along this middle here. Not too much, because remember, some of that glue is going to come through those holes. You're going to get one of your pieces, and again, you're going to match the shape right on there. So if you take a look at it from the side, that part's sticking out, that's okay. And don't worry if some of the glue does come up through the holes, just wipe it away. When it dries, it'll dry clear. Just put that on, unless of course you have colored glue. So we're going to let that dry on there. While that dries, we're going to grab our next pieces. So again, you're going to find the part that has a rough part. You can take off some of those middle parts, and you're going to match up your shapes. So remember, the smooth side is what gets glued, and the rough side gets popped up. And if you happen to have gotten a different kind of paper, as long as the shape matches, you're okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to add glue here again on both sides, just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and close up your glue. If you need to, you can go ahead and take out whatever you have in the middle of there. We're going to go ahead and match up those shapes, just like that. And it's okay, this little part might come on top of this, that's all right. If it lays over it, that is just fine. So we're going to go ahead and glue that down. Again, if any glue comes through, just go ahead and wipe it away a little. And then we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So see, now you have an all green cactus with the little bits of yellow speckles, and it sticks up a little. So now we're going to do this side. So this side might be a little bit more difficult because we can't flatten it out. So we're going to go ahead and put glue all in the middle. Just like that. Close up the cap from your glue and put that right in the middle. Now what I do is I stand it up so that I can push down to make sure it's even at the bottom. And then I just squish it on the sides so that it comes even on the sides. So if you push together on the sides, it usually becomes pretty even. Then again, you're going to squish it down. Any glue comes up, go ahead and wipe it away. And you'll see that you can already stand it up. So then again, we're going to put the green parts on the sides here. So cover that in glue again. Put on that side. I give it a little flick, get some of those parts off. Put it right on. Squish that one, match your shape up. Do the other side. Flick that a little, get some of that off. Do that side. Wipe off some of that glue. All right, so now you can see that cactus is all nice and done. Okay. So you can go ahead and just let that one dry. So we're going to hold that one aside and let that one dry. And like I said, now you have it all the way around like a 3D cool little cactus. So we're going to let that one dry. Make sure we close up our glue. And now we're going to go ahead and get our other parts from our succulent. So this one's a cactus and this one's going to make the succulent. And you can see there's my cactus and that's what the succulent's going to look like. And as you can see on my succulent, you see the little greeny blue, but you also see some purple tips. So this is something that you can do if you want to. I'm just going to wipe away some of that glue. We're going to take all of this out of our bag. And this one's going to have a lot of pieces again. So you're going to see you have two big pieces, but one piece has a little hole right here with and it's cut open a little. Then you have another big piece. You have that one, you'll have that one, and then this little guy, okay? This little guy, you can go ahead and just put it to the side for a sec, because we don't want to lose that one. But you see all together we have 7 pieces. We're going to start off with this little piece that has the little hole in it. Okay, so here's where if you want to, you can get a marker and go along the edge just to give it a little color, just like that. All I do is just give it a little color on the edges. And I go around each petal and do that with all of them. Or you can get a stamp pad just like this. You can grab any color you'd like. I think I'm gonna do this kind of peachy color. And I just rub some of that stamp pad right onto the ends of it. Now, if you have a cotton ball or a little pom-pom like this, you can rub that cotton ball or pom-pom right on the ink and get it all up like that. And you can hold on to it just like this, and you can rub around the edges just like that, and it'll add ink to the ends just a little bit, just to give it a little color on the tips. Okay, like I said, you can go around and do it to each one of them. You can do it before and you can do it after you glue everything together. So for right now, I'm going to stop that. But if you'd like to, you can pause the video and go ahead and ink up all of your pieces. Now, once you have inked it up, if you want to, we're going to take this piece that has the little slice cut out of it. We're going to add glue to just one petal, just like that. We're going to take the petal right next to it and pull this over and put it on top of the petal with the glue. And just line that up and squish it. Okay? And that'll make kind of like a little bowl. You can see how that's like a little bowl. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and squish that. Let it dry just for a second. Doesn't take too long. Next, what we're going to do is while that's drying, we're going to fold up all of our petals from each piece that we have, just like that, to make sort of a little bowl like that too. You're going to do that to every piece that you have while that other piece is drying. It gives it just enough time to dry. So we're going to do that to each petal. We're just going to fold it up. Oops, almost forgot to close my glue again. I'll fold it up, even down to our teeny tiny little piece. Just like that. Okay, so once you have them all folded up, you're going to start with your biggest piece, and you're going to add glue just to the bottom, like that. Not too much, not all the way, just towards the center. Now with this piece, you're going to notice that it has kind of a pointy little end right there. So what I want you to do is just kind of squish down that a little, just a little bit. What I do is I put my fingers right there. I just kind of squish that down in the middle. It helps to hold it down. I'm kind of crushing it a little bit, so it's not quite as pointy. And then what you're going to do is just glue that right to the other piece. What you want to do is kind of get it so this petal is in between two other petals. And just squish that down. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just get the back of a pencil or something and squish it down really hard like that. Because I have nails and it's hard for me to push down with my fingers. Okay, so once you have that one, you're going to add glue again, right to the center. Oops, gave it a little spin. And go to the next biggest one. And again, you're going to go between the two petals. So this petal is going to go between those petals there. And you're going to squish it down. So again, if you have a pencil or something nearby, or just with your fingers, but just so you guys can see it a little better, I'm squishing that down with that. See, it's right in the middle. So again, we're going to go ahead and add glue. Close that up. Add the next one. Between the other petals again. Just go ahead and squish that down. Just like that. Glue again. I think you guys get the idea. Squish it down again. Now, you notice it's getting much smaller in the middle now. So I might have to get something else pointy to push it down. So far, so good. See that? It's already forming a pretty flower. So one last time, a really small dab of glue to put this really small baby piece in. And squish it just enough down. Just like that. Okay? So now you can see you have a pretty little succulent, and you can kind of see where I added the ink. So if you do want to add the ink, you can do it after it's dry as well. So you can actually hold it just like this, and you can go in and do it with your marker, or you can go ahead and grab a little ink pad and just go like this all the way across all of them at once. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can color them if you want to. Again, you don't have to. Succulents are all kinds of different colors. A little bit in the middle. Just to add a little bit of stuff here and there. Just like that, see? And then, once it's all dry, you can fluff all these up. And then it makes it look just a little bit more picked up like that. All right. So now that we made all of our little pieces, now we're going to want to put it in our pot. So if you want to, you can decorate your pot before or after. So you can see on mine, I added a little glue on the edge and added just a little bit of glitter on the edge. You can put stickers, but you got to have really sticky stickers sometimes. You can grab a marker and you can just make a really cool little design all the way across your little pot right here. I'm just making some cool little zigzags. Okay. Now, all you'd have to do is get the little bag that your parts came in. Okay. So you're going to want to hold on to that. And you're going to get your bag. and you're just going to squish it up. If you lost your bag, any little piece of paper or anything that you can just squish up into a little ball, and you're going to push that right into your little pot, just like that, okay? Once you squish in your pot, you can see how much fits. You're going to take it out just for a second. What I want you to do is go ahead and get, and actually paper or newspaper even works better, but you can just get some glue all inside of the pot. Along the edges, maybe a little on the middle, but mostly around the middle edge of your pot. Just here and there. This will help keep your paper that you wad up in place. Okay. You can see because it grabs all of that glue just in there. All right, so the next thing you want to do is you want to put glue just all in top of that paper. I know, seems odd, but you're going to do this. All right, so we're going to let that sit there for a second. The reason we're going to let it sit is so that it can dry just a little bit so that it can grab onto things faster. What you're going to do now is you're going to get your cactus. On the bottom of your cactus, I want you to just squish closed a little part of your cactus. And don't worry which section you do, and don't worry about it closing up on the top. I'm going to show you what to do to make that not close on the top. You're going to squish the bottom, just 2 parts close like that, and you're going to put glue on the front and the back on just 2 sides, just like that. You're going to get this and you're going to put it on the side of your pot and just squish it so that it holds to the sides of your pot for a minute. The other glue on the other side will just kind of grab onto whatever else is there. So you want to push it as far as that just hits the top of your pot. Okay, now you see there's still the glue in there and it's drying a little bit. So what I want you to do is on the bottom of this succulent, add a nice big glob of glue. Okay. You can even add just a little bit to the end parts of the petal, like on the inside. So you can see that's a nice big glob of glue right there. Close up your glue. You're going to get this and you're just going to squish it down into your pot like that. Okay, and you can already see where your petals are popping up just like this one. So you're going to squish that in there. Okay. Now you're going to go ahead and leave that in there and let it dry for a little bit. Okay. So after, you're going to put that aside, let it dry for a few minutes. After it's dry, you're going to get your cactus and squish it back open like that. It'll be dry and it won't come out after that. And the same thing with this one when it's dry. You're just going to lift up as many of those petals as you can to make it pop up. Just like that. So squish up all those petals just so they pop up a little more. And then you can see it's not moving anywhere. Now, probably saying, what about this little piece? Now this is up to you if you want to add this little piece, but this one is very, very small in the middle. So you can see there's only going to be a teeny little dab of glue that you're going to put. And this one's a little bit easier to put in after, because if not, all the wiggling around and pushing down can sometimes make it fall off because it's so small. But you can add a little thing of glue, go in there and add it in last, and you'll have a little thing. It's not necessary, it doesn't have to be there. You can see it still looks super duper cute. All right, so now you can see we have our little succulents all made. Again, if you want to, after when it's dry, just squish back out your cactus, but you want to make sure it's nice and dry. Let it dry for maybe about an hour before you go ahead and squish that back out this and fluff this out, so that way it doesn't come detached from your little pot. And when you're done, you'll have a cute little succulent that you can put on your desk or on your windowsill, and it'll be super cute. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that craft. Don't forget to share your pictures with us. I'm just wiping up a little. So share your pictures with us in our Facebook Misfit Crafter Studio Zoom Kids group that we send you a link with when you signed up for this class. Also be sure to follow us on Instagram, Misfit Crafter Studio. so that you can share your pictures with me and I can share them on there if you'd like to. Be sure to visit misfitcrafterstudio.com to see all the different classes that we have, both for kids and for adults. So we'll catch you on our next class. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.